Right. NASA is evil. Okay. Their logo is a snake's tongue. Okay. They show us pictures of Mars, which are Devon Island in Greenland. Okay. The one on the left is Devon Island, and on the one on the right is Mars. They tell us. Look at the clouds, they're stepped and repeated. The same clouds. Just that circle is what we see. That's what we see. So you have to believe that all of that other land outside of that circle is on the other side of that ball. At 500 miles, 550 miles an hour, the Earth's curve drops at a mile every 2 minutes. Okay? So the pilot would constantly have to be nosing down. He would constantly have to be nosing down, otherwise he's going to fly right off into space. The sun just stops going down. It sits there. This is just super sped up. It sits there, and then it just
shut up.
Yeah, it just fades away. Here it is again. It just fades away. Meanwhile, it went from up here to here in 5 minutes, and then it sat here in 10 minutes, and then it just got smaller and smaller, and it faded away. And that's because the sun that we see is traveling in a circle, and the air density becomes opaque over a short distance. You know, when we look up at Mars, which is in the night sky at the time of this recording, we don't know if it's the size of a basketball or 100 miles or 1,000 miles or wide, or we don't know anything because we don't know the distance. All we see is a light brighter than any other star. It's supposed to be a dusty, dirty ball, millions and millions of miles farther from the sun than we are, and reflecting light back to us as brighter than a star. None of that makes any sense.
No, that doesn't, and I'll agree with you on that. I've always wondered that. How do the planets shine brighter than the stars?
So what's wrong with this picture? Is the curve of the Earth the right amount, the wrong amount? You know,
what's in his helmet? I can't see it from here.
What's in his helmet? The answer is, did you know that NASA's training facility is at the National Buoyancy Lab, where they have a replica of the space station in a gigantic pool that has green screens around it? Right? Oh. Right? This picture was taken underwater. In a pool. This picture was taken in a pool.
So why don't we see bubbles?
They do. The bubbles in space happens all the time. Little bubbles, when they're moving around, will pop out, but sometimes they're filming sideways. Sometimes they're filming upside down, because you can do that in a pool, and the bubble will go sideways. These are the two official photos, but they don't use the word photo ever when they talk about Earth. They say pictures and images. This one was on everyone's iPhone. The artist that made it, and that told us how he made it in Photoshop, is Robert Simmons, and he talked about how he photoshopped the clouds in, and he made he's like, well, there's more algae here, so he had data, and he says, I'll make this green. Yeah, we lost the technology, and we can't bring it back again.
Yeah,
Don Pettit, I think he's actually retarded. All right? That is exactly why they need to keep this a secret, because this is their most important secret. This is why they have the fake space programs. This is why they have the Antarctic Treaty. They are sent. You can go on YouTube and look up stuff about Bigfoot or aliens. It's all over the place. But flat Earth, they're censoring the crap out of it. You can't find the good stuff on flat Earth because they don't want people to know. People were waking up faster than they thought they would, and they're shutting it down. This photo right here was taken by the Cassini spacecraft. I think it was Cassini, going at 60,000 miles an hour. How far is Pluto from the sun? So far that the sun is like a star, but it's this well lit, going at 60,000 miles an hour, and it caught this beautiful picture with a friggin' Pluto's head on it. They're mocking us. Here's something, Jupiter is a gassy, stormy, giant planet, right? These two pictures are taken over 2 years apart. They said, oh, look, we got this crazy aurora, right? Do you use any photo software? Could you do that in under a minute?
Okay, yeah, I could do that.
You could probably do it better. Okay. But if you lay these two over each other, every single little detail is exactly the same. It's just this one is a little lighter than this one. They're the exact same photos. So you have to believe 2 years later that all of those windstorms and everything haven't changed. It's the exact same photo. It's mockery. They're mocking the stupidity of the people of this world. All of your God-given senses tell you that you're flat and stationary, okay? But they tell us that we're spinning, and we believe it because they told us, and we have no proof. This image behind me is showing what our solar system's doing. The Earth is spinning at over 1,000 miles an hour at the equator. That's faster than the speed of sound. So when you watch a sunset, you have to believe that you're falling over backwards faster than the speed of sound, and that's making the sun appear to set. We're also orbiting around the sun at 66,600, interesting number, miles per hour around the Earth, okay? Around the sun, okay? So we're orbiting the sun, but the moon is orbiting us. The sun is 400 times bigger than the moon, but 400 times farther than the moon. That's why they look like they're the same size. But then you watch the sun rise and set, and you watch the moon rise and set. They look like they're the same size. They take the same path. But you have to believe what I just told you. Not only are we spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, orbiting at 66,000 miles per hour, we're chasing the sun at over 500,000 miles an hour, flying through space at over 500,000 miles an hour. And that entire system is moving sideways at 1.2 million miles per hour, okay? But somehow, while all of that is going on, all of our senses tell us that nothing is moving. All of our senses tell us that we're still and stationary, and you can have perfectly glass lakes reflecting mountains where we're curving around a curve. By the way, if you're going 500 miles an hour in a straight line in a car, you can drink water, you're fine, you can light a candle. But as soon as you start taking a turn, and that's what the spinning and orbiting and all the motions are, they're circles, things are going to slosh all over the place. But we have calm, beautiful lakes, okay? Perfectly glassed. All of your common sense tell us that you're flat and stationary, and only nonsense tells us otherwise. I'm in the space station. Look, I'm floating. I'm in space. Here's the Red Bull jump, okay? So we looked at the land here. That's planet New Mexico. All of that land is New Mexico. Fisheye lens. And you think about this. They went up there for like 3.5 hours, and then he jumped. The Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour to the east. It's spinning to the east. So if the Earth is spinning to the east, he goes up, he's going to land out in the ocean, right? Because it's spinning to the east, that means he's going west. He landed a couple 100 miles east of where he took off from, right? Check this out. Here's the flight route from Santiago, Chile, all the way up to Australia. It goes all the way north, across the United States, and then all the way down to Australia. See that big arch? When in fact, they could have just gone across Antarctica or stayed at their 55 degrees south latitude, gone around the short way, which is a third of that distance, and gotten there, but they can't, because that's not the layout of the Earth. This is the layout of the Earth. And those same plane routes are a straight line. There's a straight line.
Well, that would definitely make things easier.
So above us, the Earth is the ball Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, okay? So if you go into the app, there's the top button will bring you to the current winds. And if I set it for 40,000 feet, these are the winds at 40,000 feet. These white and pink areas are winds that are 200 to 300 miles per hour. That's at 40,000 feet. But think about this. They're spinning on the ball eastward, okay? That means that they're outrunning the spin of the Earth, right? You have to believe that if the Earth is spinning, all of the air is being held on by gravity. The higher up air would have to spin faster just to keep up with the Earth, the ground, because it's making a bigger circle. But it's outrunning the spin of the Earth.